What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to The Long Dark. My name is Splattercat. Happy to have you here today. We've got things we need to solve right now. Now, I may have some memory issues this playthrough. I need to warn you, I have 3 playthroughs going right now. A personal playthrough, this playthrough, and also the stream playthrough, which you can check out at twitch.tv/SplatterCatGaming. But anyways, I've got multiple playthroughs going on, and they're all taking place in the same zone, so if I seem a little muddled or like I don't remember where items are, or what I've done recently, don't blame me. I'm playing a lot of playthroughs on Mystery Lake right now, but we're on day 13. It's not bad for Interloper. My thought is that if you can make it past day 20 in Interloper, things get a lot easier. They get simpler. We've got some pretty infirm weather right now. Inclement, that's the word I'm looking for. We got shitty weather right now, right? The weather sucks. So being outside is not really going to be a great option. On this map, locations that we haven't hit up yet, as I recall, we haven't gone to the dam yet. The dam is the main location that we haven't gone to and taken care of business. I also don't know if we found a hammer yet. That's the other part that I'm a little bit interested in. So we need a blacksmithing hammer. Otherwise, we're not really going to be able to do the things that I want to do. Our gloves are officially busted. They're not looking good. They're ruined, or are they on 1%? It says they're on 1%, but I guess they ruined a little early. It must be on some fraction of the 0%. We're gonna have to wait out this wind. It looks like I've already torn down, so good things to do when there's bad weather at the beginning of the game. Gather cloth and gather wood. Those are the 2 big ones until you hear the wind die down. But the truth of the matter is, after day 20, the weather's going to get a lot worse. I know it seems like it's pretty bad right now, but trust me, wait till you get to like day 40 or day 50. That's when the weather is just eternally terrible and you can't get out from underneath it. And so we sort of need to make some headway in getting prepared for a very, very messed up future. How much water do I have on me right now? I got a feeling today's going to be an all-day blizzard. Every now and again, with the Interloper mode, they're going to hit you with an all-day blizzard, or sometimes 2 days straight of blizzard. You just got to kind of keep your ear to the soil and watch out for it. Can't break that down without a hatchet. But we have gathered up a little bit of wood, which I think is really, really good. If you can have like 20 to 30 hours worth of wood inside your home base, wherever you've decided that that is, that's going to help out a ton. Don't do it at the risk of your health, but like, it's definitely something you should look into. Let's fix these boots too. I don't fancy the idea of running around barefoot for the next little bit, and I know we've probably got some leather around here. Let's see. Do I not have leather? I thought I had leather around. Okay. Well, we can jimmy rig this a little bit. We can take these right here. We can sort of tear these up, and we can turn them into some scrap leather. And then once we've got the scrap leather done, we can throw down on the boots. Cabin fever is a risk right now, but I've got like ways around that since we have a bedroll. And in fact, we should probably prep for that. And it sounds like the wind actually is giving us a reprieve right now. Let's go outside and let's go take a look at what we've got going on at the moment. See how bad the weather is. Losing our gloves is bad. It's not good. We've actually only got -2 right now, which is not awful. It's not the worst that I've ever seen. So, my advice would be double. First, what we need to do is we need to go out to the dam and we need to scavenge that. And then after we get done at the dam, my next suggestion is that we need to find a maple branch. The maple branch is going to allow us to make a bow, which will be our first line of defense, and also to allow us to hunt. And that's going to take a lot of pressure off us when it comes to our food supplies. Because really, if we can knock out like 1 deer a week, we'll probably be in pretty good shape. That's about all we have to do is take out 1 deer at a time. I don't remember if we've gone up to the fire watch, but there's a lot of wolves over there right now. We're going to have to take, there's 3 wolves right there. We're going to have to take the back route. I don't want to take the back route because the back route is very, very thin, and if there's 1 wolf inside of there, it's very difficult to dodge them and lose them. But I'm going to give it a go. I also have some other ideas for where we can score some sweet early game loot, but I don't remember if we went up to the fire watch or not. I usually go up to the Firewatch pretty early, but like I said, I'm going to be a little addle-brained because I have so many playthroughs going right now, and it's hard for me to keep everything straight, and unfortunately, at this point, we've got like 5 hours of footage that I have to sift through to figure out what I did, and I watched the last couple episodes kind of on like fast forward before I recorded this one, but we're just going to take it one day at a time. We're going to kind of flow along. It's also possible that I've missed out on loot here and there, but we're going to move quickly. Don't worry too much about your energy levels when you're playing the game on Interloper. If you have to sleep, sleep when you gotta sleep. But worry about cold more than anything else. Cold is going to be the one that gets you into trouble. There's a deer right there. I've been playing this game called The Hunter, Call of the Wild, and it's weird seeing a deer just, like, walking around. In that game, it's like a hunting simulator. Like, deer will see you from, like, that far away, and they will take off for the hills, like, instantly. They will just, like, vanish on your ass. Okay, so I've already hit up all this, obviously. Let's head this way. This little channel over here is going to take us straight to the back of the map. There's a couple locations we can check out on this side, maybe just to grab a few resources. So, like, cattail stalks, maybe kill off another rabbit or two, might score us dinner. Always be grazing heavily off rabbits if you've got the opportunity to in Interloper. The extra hides will help out as well. I think you can substitute them for repairs on certain things, and we also need them in order to craft the bunny gloves and the bunny hat, both of which are going to add about 2.5 degrees. Ideally, by like day 25, I'd like to have all of the deer gear, and I'd like to have all of the bunny gear. However, no guarantees. Oh, there's a wolf over here, too. Apparently, there's just a lot of wolves around today. So I'm going to have to bait him. We're going to have to do this kind of a risky way because I need to get around that way. The way that I'd like to do this is that we can kind of exploit the AI a little bit. Okay, so there he is. We're going to try and go around this way. And if we get really lucky, he'll kill that deer instead of us. And my hope is that that went exactly according to plan. It did. Okay, so he went after the deer. That also gives us the benefit that we may be able to harvest that deer at a future time. Maybe. I mean, he's going to ravage it, and he's going to eat a lot of the parts off of it, but it may still be a useful resource for later. If nothing else, we'll be able to harvest the hide, which I think will put us up to 4 deer hides, and then that'll put us in the position to get the boots and also make the pants, although we will want to watch out once again for cabin fever. Always be planning, do everything you can out of doors on Interloper so that you can spend extended amounts of time indoors crafting, because the craft times are only going to get worse as you get further into the game. Like, it takes like 44 hours for the wolf cloak. It takes something similar for the bear cloak. For the bunny gloves, I think it's like 4 or 5 hours. For the hat, it's like 4 or 5 hours. And then for the deer pants and the deer boots, I believe it's right around 12 hours for both of those of just like nonstop crafting time indoors. We've got a decent... Oh, another one. Man, what's up with all the wolves right now? We've got a... This is an odd amount of wolves. And I'm not being facetious about that. This is a strange amount of wolves for this point in the game. We are hosed. I think our adventure is officially over. I've really got no way to get past them. I guess I can go through here. Yeah, we'll try to take this route. Maybe this one will be unblocked. There's got to be one passage that is not blocked by slavering canines. Lupines, as it were. Why are, like, wolves called lupines and dogs are called canines? I assume that there's some reason for that. I don't know. I've got an Akita, an American Akita, which is bred with wolves. And so, like, I have a wolf dog. They're intense. They're pretty intense dogs. But, like, no different than any other dog. Just a little bit tougher. Got a little bit more of a mean streak, in all honesty. You can smell the wildness in them. They've got kind of a case of attitude that I think most domesticated dogs don't have. Love the outdoors, though. You will never see a happier Akita than when you let them run around in the rain or when it's like freezing cold outside. They love the cold weather. All right, let's head down this way. Enough about my dog. Enough about my dog. Let's not talk about it. We're going to head off down this way. Keeping an eye out. Oh, good. We were able to, like, skeef around him. Nice. It's not a perfect solution, but, you know, it's a solution that worked out. I'll take it. We're a little bit cold right now. I am trying to, like, maintain status at the moment. Oh, my God, all the deer. They're like, I know, we have to hang out over here. It's the only place with no wolves. I'm like, I get it, dear brother. I get it. I understand completely. You ain't gotta tell me twice. Sometimes there's a dead guy over here, but I'm much more interested in gathering my dinner right now. We should be able to gather a pretty good grip of cattail stalks from over here, unless we've already hit it. Yeah, I was gonna say, there should be a decent, and considering like our food shortage right now, I think we're gonna be surviving off cattail stalks for a little bit, but that's alright. We've been eating too much protein anyways. This time around, we need to focus on fiber. Keep ourselves nice and survival regular. You know, like, what's the point in surviving if you can't poop on a schedule? You know what I mean? We'll go ahead and grab this stuff right here. Looks good. And we'll just kind of keep heading back this way. This is going to deplete the majority of the resources for us on this map once we get done with here. There's one or two other locations where we can get a few more cattails. But by and large, you kind of want to plan ahead in Interloper. With, like, the cattails we get from here, I assume we'll have around about 60 cattails. And that's enough to last us, like, 10 to 15 days, depending on what happens. 10 to 15 days. That'll get us well into our day 20s or so, which if things get really desperate, we can go out to Milton, and we can grab some stuff from there too. I always think it's a good idea to go to Milton early in the game, because Milton has a lot of loot out there that's just like degrading right now. And if you go there like late on in, a lot of it's going to be banged up or rotten, and a lot of it is actually food supplies. And so you can go to Milton and you can just like graze for like 3 or 4 days to pass the time. Grab some really good clothing. There tends to be like military pants out there. There tends to be like ski jackets or parkas out there. Just like lots of stuff you can make use of at this point in the game. So we may go out to Milton at some point. But I'd really like to have a bow before I go to Milton, because there's a lot of threats out there. There's like a lot of wolves. And being able to pop a shot at one of them real fast tends to be kind of helpful. I think I've just about gotten most of the cattail stocks from over here. So that's going to put us at 72 stocks. Actually better than I thought. So we've got about 15 days worth of food, give or take 3 or 4 days on us, just in terms of cattail stocks. That's good. Watch out when you come over here. Sometimes there's a wolf that likes to just like chill in this little area. It can be problematic. Let's go ahead and dive on into here. Chances are I probably looted these already when I was coming through before. I did. Okay, so we already hit all of this up. That's fine. That's good. I'm just trying to verify what I have or have not done before we go any further. With our fire starting resources, we've got sticks. Don't really need that. Dude, we're going to need more matches. We only have 25 matches right now. We actually have a bit of a match shortage at the moment. I think we will have to take an early trip up to Milton, but I'm going to kind of play it by ear with Milton. We may pick up some more matches inside the dam, I think. There's a pretty good chance we'll get like 1 to 2 boxes inside the dam. And if we can get the 1 to 2 boxes inside the dam, that'll buy us a little bit more time. In a conservative sense, my recommendation would be not to use more than 1 match a day, if you can help it. More than 1 match a day, and you may be using too many matches for Interloper. It is entirely plausible that you can go weeks without using a match on Interloper. It's going to depend on whether or not you have a magnifying lens. If you do, you want to pay careful attention to the weather. Wait and see. When there's a sunny day out, you should start a fire. And you should basically do all your fire-related activities as soon as possible whenever the sun's out, so that when the sun inevitably goes away, which it will, it'll bail on you. Then you'll have a little bit of elbow room to do other stuff instead of worrying about like, oh my god, I'm dehydrating right now and I'm dying horribly. If you're looking for great supplies of lumber over here, there's pallets everywhere. You can kind of come over here, grab all that stuff, offload it in one of the trailers, and then come pick it up whenever you need more surplus wood. It's your call, whatever you feel like is going to work. But let's dive on into this dam, and we're going to see what we can find in this damn place. So far, goose eggs is what we got going on. We'll go ahead and check the briefcase real fast. Nothing out there. I don't remember. Did we go to Lumberyard yet? It's hard to keep track. I should have made our home base in the stream playthrough in a different spot. That's what I should have done. I should have made it like in Coastal or in like Milton or something, but I just didn't. was really hoping there would be a forging hammer in here. It would have made my life easier. It worries me that we haven't found a blacksmithing hammer yet. There may be, given, like, I know where the spawns are for the blacksmith hammers, so you can find them just about anywhere that there's a workbench. Some static spawns that you should look out for. They usually spawn near locations where you can smith. So, for example, you would find one in Desolation Point inside the Hibernia processing plant. You can find a hammer inside of, actually right next to the forge in Muskeg. But other than that, I tend to find mine, like, randomly, just, like, around in locations where there tend to be, like, a wolf, where there tend to be, well, there are wolves around, but places where there tend to be a workbench around are where I tend to find them. I feel like I'm using the word tend a lot. Like, too much. Got a skunked right there, too. Okay. Thing in the trash can. Nada. Nothing inside of there either. Okay. Lockers, you hiding anything for me right now? What kind of goodies do you have inside your crevasse, locker? Nothing. Make sure you get the water out of the toilets over here. That'll help you out a little bit, too. Toilet water. I'm going to leave it, actually, for a second. I'll get it on the way out, because I don't want to overweigh myself, like, early on in our little adventure. I also need to process this rabbit and maybe, like, eat from him. I'm sort of waiting it out to see what we find in here. If we find any kinds of, like, candy bars or anything else like that, I would much rather eat that tonight, and then we can leave the rabbit outside to freeze. And we'll just worry about it later. Match spawns. You tend to get matches inside this little office up here in the dam, so if you're really, really hard up for them, I can tell you it's pretty consistent that I find a box of matches inside one of the receptacles in here. It might be in the desk, it might be in the trash can, it might be, you know, elsewhere. Hey, another toque. Nice, man. I'll take that. That's a nice little come up right there. But I tend to find matches in here somewhere. It's not predictable, though. It's just in here somewhere. Sometimes they're laying around. Sometimes they're inside one of the desks. It's just, you got to look for them. But it's fairly consistent. Nothing inside of there. Okay. Nothing inside of there. Man, the back end of this place better have some good stuff in it. Because so far, our luck has not been great. Nothing on the desks. Alright. Let's break open the lockers. Painkillers and antibiotics, both helpful. Not, like, incredibly helpful, but both those items are one of those things where, like, you don't know you need them until you need them, and then once you need them, you're like, damn, I wish I had those. I have had select playthroughs on Interloper where I don't find, like, any meds for whatever reason. And it definitely adds a new kind of stress to the game. I mean, you can supplement it with reishi mushrooms and with old man's beard and with the tea that you can make out of rose hips. But kind of a roundabout way to get it done. Stale beef jerky and a sewing kit. I'll take it. Beef jerky is actually helpful right now, considering I don't want to dive into my food stocks. And honestly, I don't really feel like messing with that rabbit right now. Come on, what you got for me? Nothing on the shelves. It's always good to scan around. There's a lot of, like, squirreled away loot in Interloper. Like, I'm not convinced. So I know Interloper has less loot than the other modes, but I don't think it's as sparse as one might think it is. It's just like, you gotta look for it. Like, sometimes it's down tucked away underneath things. Sometimes it's, like, slightly underneath the rug or behind a bed or something like that. We've had some pretty bad luck inside the dam so far. I'm over here making a big deal about how I always get matches from this location. And now, the game's just out to make me look foolish. Frankly, I feel like I've got egg on my face right now. Alright, well, nothing inside of there. Let's throw on that other toque. I don't know what condition it's in, but it's gonna be in better condition than just, like, the hat that we're wearing, which doesn't give hardly any heat at all. I don't think that door goes anywhere, but there is an exit here that takes you to, like, a back zone where there's loads of rabbits. I honestly don't go there very much when I'm playing on Interloper. It's not a zone that... I think it acts as a transition in between... I forget. That's how little I go there. I don't go there very often. I'll go there on stalkers sometimes if I'm just like trying to hunt some rabbits or whatever, but frankly, rabbits are all over the place now. The only reason to go to that zone before was really because rabbits didn't spawn very frequently anywhere else, but they've kind of like rebalanced the maps and put rabbits like everywhere on Interloper now, and so like not really a huge call to go over there unless you really, really need to. Antiseptic. Not a bad pull. Come on, matches. I know you're in here. I know you're in here. You can't lie to me. Bunch of books. Really nothing that's appearing to be too useful to me. Yeah. Alright, well, one last ditch effort. There is a safe back over here. We'll see if we can crack it real fast. So we got 53, 53, 33, and 20. There we go. All good to go. Just some Canadian loonies inside of there. Nothing that's really going to help us too much. I know the loonie is the gold coin. It's not the village. I know. I got a couple of Canadian loonies, actually. I actually really, really like that coin. Aesthetically, it's a really nice coin. I used to collect coins back in the old days when I was a kid. I had, like, yen coins. I had all kinds of stuff. I had Chinese coins. I had Deutschmarks. I had all kinds of stuff. I had, like, loads and loads and loads of random coins. I used to get them as birthday presents and stuff like that. There you go. There's your matches. 12 more. So now we're up to, like, what, 37 matches, if I'm remembering correctly. It'll help. Never hurts to have a few more matchboxes around. I knew we'd find them in here somewhere. Some simple tools right there. If you guys see me walking past stuff, I see it. It's just that, like, I don't feel like carrying it around with me a lot of the time. Like, there's lots and lots of toolkits around. Not really a concern. Like, the red tools are the ones that you really, really want. The blue tools, not so much. Not so much. Let's go ahead and carry on down here. As a note, you don't have to worry about Fluffy anymore. In previous iterations of the game, there was a wolf that lived inside the dam named Fluffy that would occasionally jump you inside the hallways or anything else like that in the pitch black. Fluffy does not exist anymore. Fluffy has been moved to alternate locations. I believe Fluffy lives in a cave somewhere on a different map now. I don't see anything on that side. Nothing over there either. And we've got a broken bridge over here. Okay. Well, let's carry on. Although I think we may have to finish our exploration later because we're getting pretty tired right now. Getting a little exhausted. And frankly, like in my experience, the back end of this place pretty rarely has anything that you want anyways. Like, you can go inside that little exit right there, but my luck is not usually very good when I go inside of that. I don't really find much. Do we have any coffee right now? We do. Good. Perfect opportunity for a cup of joe. We'll go ahead and slam that on down, and that'll like refill our fatigue meter ever so slightly, because I feel like our fatigue is kind of getting the best of us right now, and I don't really want to run out and be walking all slow while I'm inside of here. That's not, Once I go into like slow boat mode where I'm walking around all like mega slow, I'm just like, nah, I'm good. There's a crate over there. I thought there was a dead guy over here for whatever reason. I would swear up and down that there's normally a dead guy over there, but it's possible that I'm getting it mixed up with Hibernia. What do we have there? A flare? Hey, free fire source. Don't turn up your nose at flares. They may not work on wolves in Interloper, but they work great for starting a fire. So that'll save you a match. You should be able to find 10, 15 flares map to map. I think I can just step over that right there. I'm not feeling lazy. You can climb down the rope right there if you want to. And there is firewood over there normally. I'm just going to go around the horn, though. It's like, Alright, so having gone around the horn, Let's take a look and see what we can find around here. We're down into the deepest bowels of the dam, doing a little bit of dam colonoscopy work right now. I bet you guys didn't know that I was certified to do that. Well, I am, Nerdcastle. I am. Cotton scarf, not really helpful. Probably tear it up. Disinfectant, not really helpful. Probably just like store it somewhere for later. Sewing kits are always good, though. Sewing kits and whetstones are the two things that I've got my eye out for right now. If I can find whetstones or sewing kits, those are kind of the long-term. And even sewing kits are not really that adamant because you can use fishing wire in order to repair your clothing later on once you start to run low on resources. But whetstones, incredibly valuable in Interloper. You should absolutely have a ton of whetstones if you can. Sometimes there's something squirreled away back there in the corner behind the Jennies. Anything in here? Nay. Nothing in there. Let's carry on. This room is sort of like a mixed bag, smorgasbord. Sometimes I find all kinds of goodies in this room, and then other times, nothing. Completely and totally empty. Just sort of got to keep an eye out. Anything inside this desk? Huh? What you got for me? I know you got something in here. Scrap metal? That's actually decent. I'll take it. Scrap metal's good. Nothing sitting around on the edges. And there is our blacksmithing hammer. Very nice. Very, very nice, everybody. Very nice. So now we can actually officially start thinking about doing some blacksmithing. Having the bow and arrow done early on in the game is a good idea. We don't have the maple branches, though, yet. So in the interest of making our lives easier, I think what I'm going to do is we'll stop right here. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me for another little run-through of our Interloper playthrough, where I kind of explain the hard-learned tips that I've learned about playing Interloper over the years of playing Long Dark. It's kind of hard to imagine that I've been playing this game for years at this point, but I have. If you like the video, don't forget to leave a like on it. It helps out more than you know. It's been cool revisiting one of our old haunts. I'll see y'all later. Thank you for stopping on in, and I will catch you all next time. Bye, everybody.